Hello, this is Teacher Christopher again. I'm going to do a recording for you of one of the pieces for the 69th Hong Kong Speech Festival 2017. And this piece is solo prose speaking open, ages 5 to 8 for boys and girls. And it is an extract from Winnie the Pooh by A. Milne. Now, if you want me to record two versions of the piece for you, you need to write to me at hongkongspeechfestival@gmail.com. I will record the first piece in plain English for pronunciation and enunciation, and the second with intonation also, so that you can deliver your very best presentation. Okay, so let's start. I'm going to read the first paragraph in simple plain English so that you can understand the pronunciation and enunciation. And I will do that for the whole of the piece should you decide to ask me to do so. Okay, let's start. I should say that I will be reading the paragraphs just before the piece which you are expected to read from the syllabus, although I will read the first 2 or 3 lines of what is contained in the syllabus. But this gives you an idea of how you can say a piece with intonation to make your presentation really interesting and stand out. What is important is that you use the very best English accent that you possibly can. Now, some people say it doesn't matter. Well, I really disagree, because if you can speak with a good English accent, your piece is going to sound a lot better. Okay, so we'll start off. This is chapter 5, in which Piglet meets a heffalump, and I'm going to read the first few lines just for pronunciation and enunciation. One day, when Christopher Robin and Winnie the Pooh and Piglet were all talking together, Christopher Robin finished the mouthful he was eating and said carelessly, "I saw a heffalump today, Piglet." "What was it doing?" asked Piglet. "Just lumping along," said Christopher Robin. "I don't think it saw me." Okay, so that's for pronunciation and enunciation. What is the difference between pronunciation and enunciation? Well, pronunciation is how to say the word properly. Enunciation means how to say the word properly and clearly. Let me give you an example. Pronunciation. Now that's far too fast. If I ask you to say the word pronunciation, that's how you should say it. If you say pronunciation, it's too fast. Many people would not understand you. Although the pronunciation is correct, it is not clearly enunciated. So you have to say it more slowly. Okay, so I'm now going to read this first section with intonation. Now, intonation is where you raise your voice, you lower your voice, and you speak in a way that's going to make it really interesting. Okay, so I'm just going to pause for a moment. One day, when Christopher Robin and Winnie the Pooh and Piglet were all talking together, Christopher Robin finished the mouthful he was eating and said carelessly, "I saw a heffalump today, Piglet." "What was it doing?" asked Piglet. "Just lumping along," said Christopher Robin. "I don't think it saw me." "I saw one once," said Piglet. "At least, I think I did," he said. "Only perhaps it wasn't." "So did I," said Pooh, wondering what a heffalump was like. You don't often see them, said Christopher Robin, carelessly. Not now, said Piglet. Not at this time of year, said Pooh. Then they talked about something else, until it was time for Pooh and Piglet to go home together. At first, as they stumped along the path which edged the 100-acre wood, they didn't say much to each other. But when they came to the stream and had helped each other across the stepping stones, and were able to walk side by side again over the heather, they began to talk in a friendly way about this and that. And Piglet said, "If you see what I mean, Pooh." And Pooh said, "It's just what I think myself, Piglet." And Piglet said, "But on the other hand, Pooh, we must remember." And Pooh said, "Quite true, Piglet, although I had forgotten it for the moment." And then, just as they came to the 6 pine trees, Pooh looked round to see that nobody else was listening, and said in a very solemn voice, "Piglet, I have decided something." "What have you decided, Pooh?" "I have decided to catch a heffalump." So you can tell the difference. It is so much more interesting to read the story so that people want to hear. Well, that is what I do. I can record 2 versions. The first is just so that you can understand how to pronounce and enunciate the words in a good English accent. And the second is so that you can speak in a good English accent, but with intonation, and make your presentation as interesting as possible. All you need to do is write to me at hongkongspeechfestival@gmail.com. I look forward to hearing from you.